Okay, so south is dealer, north-south not vulnerable, east-west are vulnerable. South's got quite a nice hand here. They've got 15 points, unbalanced. Singleton club definitely makes them unbalanced. So we're definitely opening the bidding here. No real suit to open other than hearts. Our spades are quite good, but you should always open your longest suit. And of course our longest suit happens to be a major, so that's good. But even if this 5 were clubs, we had 5 clubs, 4 spades for example, you should still open your longest suit. So no real bid to open other than 1 heart here. Definitely not bidding no trumps. Singleton club means we shouldn't be bidding no trumps. So we're going to open hearts, wait to see what our partner does, potentially support their spades or bid more hearts if our partner rather supports us, or the opponents might bid clubs and we might double. We're not sure what's going on, but it's definitely a clear cut for me opening of 1 heart. Nice and easy 1 heart opener. Okay, now to west, vulnerable against not, the potential overcall over 1 heart. West has got quite a decent hand. They have got 10, 11, 12 points in total. They've got 5 decent clubs. So immediately I'm kind of drawn to overcalling 2 clubs. 5 plus clubs of good quality, that's true. And around 10 plus points at the 2 level, also true. The alternative with 12 points would be to make a takeout double. And a double of 1 heart would ask your partner to bid something, says I've got an opening hand, please bid something. The problem is we don't meet the shape requirements of a takeout double. And the shape requirements are you must be short in the opponent's suit, 2 or fewer, ideally 1, but 2 or fewer is good enough. And you also must be able to support anything your partner might want to bid. So you must be able to tolerate spades or diamonds, and clubs, but spades or diamonds in this instance. So double does not work, because if we double and our partner bids spades or diamonds, we're not happy. So this is just a classic 2-level overcall, 10 plus points, 5 or more good clubs, bid 2 clubs. Nice and simple. Okay, now to north, responding to our partner's opening bid of 1 heart. North has got 6 points. Shouldn't have took me that long to count. And a balanced hand, not a particularly good hand to be honest. If West had not bid, so let's say they had passed, we would have had to bid something because we've got 6 points or more. But we're not strong enough to bid 2 diamonds, so I would have suggested the correct bid would have been 1 no trump, 6 to 9 points as a responder. Unfortunately, the 2 club bid has stopped us from bidding 1 no trump. So what we shouldn't do is go, oh well, I'll bid anyway and bid 2 diamonds, because 2 diamonds is still 10 plus points. Responding over their overcall, bidding 2 diamonds will be 10 plus points still. So 2 diamonds is not the correct bid. It's too much of a bid, if you want to put it that way. So unfortunately, we've got to pass here. That does not mean we'll never bid. It just means we're not bidding now because our partner will get a kind of a misrepresentation of our strength if we were to bid. You're okay to stretch by a point here and there. 6 points to 10 points is not a stretch, it's a lie really. So bidding 2 diamonds will be 10 plus points. We are nowhere near that, so we should pass. I don't want to pass, I don't want to let the opponents win with their clubs, but we should pass if our partner wants to take some more action by repeating hearts, bidding no trumps, doubling, asking us to bid, etc. We might bid later, but certainly not now because our partner will get the wrong idea about our strength. So unfortunately, we have to pass. Okay, now to east, responding to their partner's overcall. Okay, so east has got an interesting hand here. Interesting in the sense that they've got a club fit, which is a good thing, of course. A nice club fit. Partner's got 5 clubs. We have 4, which makes 9. But not very many points, only 7 points. So there is a kind of a common misconception here that this hand isn't strong enough to bid 3 because, well, why bother? Let's let our partner play in 2 clubs. Let's let them have an easier contract. 3 clubs makes it 1 trick harder and doesn't score any more points. The problem with that is it completely ignores that South exists and ignores that they might bid something over 2 clubs. If we pass, it's almost certain the opening bidder will do something. They've shortened clubs, they'll probably bid hearts again, bid spade, double, something to get the bidding kind of continuing going to try and find their fit rather than ours. So in principle, in response to an overcall, if you're weak with 10 points or fewer, that kind of region, which we certainly are here, we should bid on the level of the fit. And what that means is there are 5 clubs over there, because our partner's overcall, we can definitely assume 5 clubs. We have 4, 5 plus 4 is 9, so the correct bid is 3 clubs, i.e. 9 tricks. You bid for the number of tricks equivalent to the number of trumps you hold. So if we have 9 trumps, trumps being clubs, we should bid for 9 tricks. So what does that mean? Well, it purely says exactly that to your partner. I have 4 cards in clubs to go with your 5. which means I'm going for 9 tricks. You are not promising points as an overcaller, you're just promising a fit, and a good fit at that. The idea is it makes South's next bid much harder. They can't bid 2 hearts on their own, for example. If they double, they're a level higher. If they bid no trumps, they have to bid 3 no trumps on their own, which they basically can't have enough points to do. If they bid spades, they'd have to bid 3 spades, not 2 spades. Makes their life so much harder, and we are willing to go to 3 clubs because we have 9 cards in clubs, so we should do it up front, in advance, in front of South's second bid. We know they probably want to bid something next, let's make their life hard. That's our job as an overcaller. So bid 3 clubs does not promise points, it promises 4 cards in clubs, and basically I'm trying to get in South's way, and definitely will succeed in doing so. So, nice level of the fit bid, 3 clubs getting in their way. Okay, so now back to South, and it's fair to say this auction has not gone how South wanted. We opened the bidding, they overcalled clubs, not surprising, we're short in clubs. Our partner failed to respond, disappointing, and then they've raised the clubs on our right, trying to get in our way. That's annoying. That 3 club bid is very annoying because it gives us less options. We're a level higher. We don't know our partner's got anything. Gives you all of these kind of cast loads of doubts. We've got probably the best hand at the table and we're being bullied out of it by the overcaller's aggression. That's why it's good bidding. So, what would I do if anything? Well, pass is a reasonable option. We don't know our partner's got any points at all. So it could be that the 3 level is just wildly unsafe and we might be going way down if we bid, say, 3 hearts. Should have 6 really to do that. We could bid 3 spades, hoping for a heart or a spade fit. That could be wildly wrong. Maybe our partner's not got any spades and has to go back to 4 hearts. That could be way too high. So pass is certainly a viable option. The option, I don't want to choose pass, which might not surprise you. The option I think is the best option here, especially given that we're not vulnerable, so we can afford to take some, a little bit of a stretch, would be to make a takeout double. This is actually called a reopening double, and that's because it's a takeout double by the opener. They are reopening the bidding, basically not letting the bidding cease, because if we pass, it's almost certainly going to get passed down. And a reopening double is, don't like your clubs, I want you to bid partner, but you can bid anything other than the suit currently in force, in this case clubs. This hand is perfect for a reopening double. Bid diamonds, spades or hearts partner, depending on whether you have diamonds, spades or hearts. It lets them judge how to compete against this 3 club bid, but in doing so, in doing the double, we're not letting them pass 3 clubs. We're making them bid either diamonds, spades or hearts, preferably spades or hearts, but they might have diamonds, who knows. So I think this hand is good enough to do a reopening double, just like a takeout double with regards to shape, but you need to be a bit stronger because it's your second bid. If you do a takeout double, you need an opening hand. To do a reopening double, you've shown an opening hand and then you're showing more, so you want kind of the 15, 16-ish point region, which is what we've got. And the really thing I like about this hand is the shape is perfect. Singleton club, tolerance for everything else. Basically, do something partner that is not clubs. We will either take the contract back and we'll play in spades, hearts or diamonds, or we'll push them to 4 clubs and then hopefully take them down. Both a win-win. We either push them up or take the contract back. We pinch it back. So for me, a reopening double is a clear-cut bid here. Absolutely right. We've got a good hand. We want to compete against their clubs, but we don't know which suit to bid. So we double, make our partner bid instead. Okay, so back to West, who made the original overcall. They've just seen their partner support them to 3 clubs. But what West has to factor in is that 3 club bid is a level of the fit bid, i.e. they have 4 clubs but not necessarily many points. They've just seen their opponents double, so they know that North's going to try and bid something. So there might be a temptation to bid 4 clubs here, but you shouldn't. We've shown 5 cards in clubs, we only have 5 cards in clubs, which means the level of the fit has been reached. We have 9 cards in clubs together. If we had 10 clubs, our partner would have bid more clubs. So we know that the 4 club level is too high, the level of the fit is 9, so we should respect the level of the fit and stay at 9. I know they're going to bid over our clubs, but we've already pushed them, we should not bid on. Given the vulnerability, it will basically never be right to stretch beyond the level of the fit when vulnerable against not. Occasionally, not vulnerable against vulnerable, i.e. the other way around, you might stretch 1, but even then it won't always be the right thing to do. So, long story short, the level of the fit is to be bid to and respected. We know we have 9 clubs, but only 9 clubs, so we should not bid on beyond the 9 trick level, i.e. we should pass. Okay, so now to North, who's just seen their partner make this reopening double, this takeout double. And if we think about it, what do we think about that double? Well, it tells us they're short in clubs. That's not surprising. The opponents have shown 9 clubs if we're to trust them. We have 3, so we think our partner only has 1. And they're showing us a good hand, a good opening hand, with tolerance for anything other than clubs. It's not really surprising given the bidding, given the way it's gone. There's some points knocking around somewhere, our partner must have some of them, and they've got short clubs. So it's not surprising that our partner has chosen to double to try and make us bid. So now we are rewarded by the fact we did not bid of our own volition earlier. We didn't bid 2 diamonds over 2 clubs, which would have been a big overstep. Now we can bid diamonds, and our partner knows our hand is not strong, but diamonds is our best suit. And we know diamonds is safe because a double promises 3 cards in any suit that is unbid. So if we wanted to choose spades or diamonds, both of them being unbid, our partner should be able to tolerate that as a decision, i.e. 3 cards or more. In this instance, we have 5 diamonds, so we're going to choose diamonds. Now, I'm not thrilled with the fact we have diamonds. I would rather have 5 spades, of course, because I'd rather have a spade fit. But that's not the hand we've been dealt. We therefore need to choose diamonds as trumps, and because we passed originally and now bidding diamonds, our partner gets the message that our hand is not strong, but diamonds is our best suit. We have to bid. It has to be the 3 level because of the opponent's bidding, but our partner should not get carried away with strength because we denied strength earlier. So it's a nice easy 3 diamond bid, hopefully ending the auction. Okay, so the auction has ended in 3 diamonds. We did not bid more clubs than we should, and that's good because the level of the fit was respected. So the opponents have managed to compete against our overcalling, reopening double, playing in diamonds. So we know that this hand that's bid has been forced to bid. So we've got a chance of maybe defeating 3 diamonds depending on the layout of the cards, etc. So what should we lead? Well, for me, there is a standout lead, and it's actually further encouraged by the information we had in the bidding. If we were leading this hand against pretty much any contract, I would be drawn towards the 10 of clubs. And why the 10? Because we have an internal sequence. We've got 10-9 and the king. So king 10-9, the 10 and 9 are touching. That's a sequence, top of touching 2, and it's known as an internal sequence because it sits inside our big and small cards. So the 10, the idea behind leading the 10 is that it tells our partner we have the 9, we do not have the jack, and we may or may not have a higher honour. The fact that our partners bid clubs means that we are more encouraged to lead a club, so I'm even more drawn to the 10 of clubs. So basically, I'm definitely leading the 10 of clubs now. I wouldn't take any more risks, like leading the ace of hearts, another heart, hoping to get a heart ruff. Far too likely that the opponents have the king of hearts because they bid them. And we should lead our partner's suit unless we have something absolutely urgent we must do, which we don't here. We've got a normal, flat, balanced hand. So I would lead the 10 of clubs, telling our partner we have the 9, but not the jack. Okay, so down goes the dummy. Okay, so we're in 3 diamonds. Our partner made a takeout double and we had to bid. And seeing the dummy, we're quite enthused really. Not as many diamonds as we hoped because they promised 3, they might have had 4. But a nice singleton club, which is what the opponents kind of expressed in the bidding. They showed us 9 clubs, we had 3, so we had kind of expected a singleton club, but nice to see it. Means the opponent's good clubs are not going to be as useful as they might have hoped. So now what we've got to think about is what losers do we have and how might we be able to kind of reduce the number of losers. So looking at our hand, using dummies kind of left to right, first looking at the diamonds, we can see that we shouldn't really lose a diamond as long as they break. We've got ace, king and queen, we have 8 diamonds, so we would anticipate a 3-2 break, that's the statistical most likely break. So we play the ace, king and queen, the jack should fall, we should be able to draw the trumps without loss. Not a guarantee, but the assumption of a reasonable break is fair. So we're going to assume not a diamond loser. We might lose a diamond, but we're going to assume we don't have a diamond loser. From spades perspective, we're going to lose maybe 1, maybe not. Depends on the spade finesse. We play a low spade towards the queen or the jack. Hope the king is on our left, not our right. The hearts, we're going to lose 1. We're going to lose the ace. And the clubs, we're going to lose 1. We're going to lose the club, but then we're void on the dummy, so we can then ruff these 2. Now that club sentiment is slightly oversimplified. We'll lose a club, then it's easy. It's not easy. We need to ruff the clubs on the dummy, and getting to our hand is not an easy endeavour, because we need to get the lead to our hand, trump a club, get the lead to our hand, trump another club. And that's actually not that easy to do. So we might have to use a trump to get the lead to our hand, but then we can't, of course, ruff a club on the table to get back to then ruff another club, because we're going to run out of trumps by that stage. So whilst this hand looks like we're going to lose maybe a spade, a heart, a club and no diamonds, i.e. we're going to kind of make 9 or 10 tricks pretty routinely, could easily go wrong in that we lose more than 1 club because we simply can't get to hand to ruff the diamonds, to ruff the clubs with the diamonds as many times as we'd like. The only real way to hand is in trumps. So if we use a diamond to get to our hand and then ruff a club, we're then running out of diamonds. So it looks to me like instinctively we're only going to be able to ruff one of these clubs because we lose this club, we ruff a club, come back with a diamond. We can't ruff another club because we're going to be ruffing with a king and therefore generating a trump loser instead. So it's a bit awkward because what we want is just an entry here, let's say the ace of hearts, and then ruff another club, and then we can draw the trumps. We just can't get to our hand in any other way other than a trump. So we might therefore fall back on trying to maybe throw a club on the heart winners. We might be able to play a heart towards the king, see if the ace of hearts is on our left. But then of course we can't get to our hand in order to play hearts, play hearts, play hearts. So any kind of natural play in this hand is going to lead to us wanting to play from our hand towards the dummy's strength, ruffing clubs, finessing in spades, playing a heart towards the king queen, and we just can't get there. We can't get to our hand in order to play spades this way, play clubs this way, play hearts this way. We haven't got the entries. So for me it looks a little bit like we're going to have to kind of give up on ruffing two clubs because we can't get here twice, give up on trying to set the hearts up, give up on the spade finesse. We can only do one of those things, and ruffing a club is a certainty, a heart or a spade is not a certainty. It depends on where the king of spades is, where the ace of hearts is, etc. So on balance we're actually probably going to lose a spade, a heart, two clubs and no diamonds. And the reason we're losing two clubs is we ruff one but we can't get here to ruff another, unfortunately, unless we ruff it high, in which case we lose an extra diamond instead. So it's kind of equal. So we're going to lose this club. Now the only thing I didn't kind of comment on there is the defence might help us. They might lead spades into the ace queen, which will be poor defence, but they might do that. They might lead hearts, getting rid of the ace, setting the king queen up for us. They might lead clubs, allowing us to ruff and then come here to ruff another one. Now the best defence is going to be to play diamonds to stop us from ruffing clubs and, importantly, to give nothing away. But the defence could easily knock out the ace of hearts for us themselves and then set those hearts up for us in order to throw some clubs away, for example. But good defence should limit us in basically ability to get to our hand entries, to therefore stop us from ruffing a couple of clubs and so on and so forth. So for now we're going to lose this club. And then the next thing the defenders do is going to be clear as to whether we're going to make tricks in hearts or ruff some clubs, etc. But a good defence will be to switch to trumps. For now, of course, we're powerless. We've got to lose this club. Okay, so the 10 of clubs was led. We've played with our one and only club from the dummy. And now we're going to see what the defenders do. This defender should definitely take the ace. They don't know where the king is, albeit it's in their partner's hand, so ducking would have worked. We lose a club. And now a critical decision for the defence as to what to do next. Generally speaking, it's bad defence to open up new suits, so to lead, certainly not a spade from this particular hand into the ace-queen, that would obviously be bad. But also leading a heart doesn't look that good because it potentially sets the hearts up for declarer. So you usually want to either play the same suit again, clubs, not particularly attractive here, or play trumps trying to give the lead away in a passive manner. Opening new suits is active, leading the same suits is passive, trying not to give anything away. We know from the bidding that declarer doesn't have that many points, so we know that they're not going to be able to get to their hand easily in order to ruff clubs, for example, or finesse spades, or try and set the hearts up, etc. So I think the best defence here is to play a trump, trying to cut down dummy's ruffs so that you win some more clubs. If this defender were to add the clubs up, we would know that there's 5 clubs plus 4 from our partner is 9, 1 in the dummy is 10, so we know that declarer has 3 clubs to begin with, which means they probably want to ruff 2 clubs on the dummy. Maybe only 1 if they've got the king, which we don't know, but we suspect our partner's got the king. So we know that they want to ruff clubs on the table, so by playing trumps, we're going to cut that down. So I'm going to suggest they make the best defence, gives me the biggest problem. So what should we do? Well, we can do one of 2 things. We can win it on the table, and then cross to our hand with a trump and ruff a club, or we can win it in hand and ruff a club now. It doesn't particularly matter which order we do this in. You might say, well, I'll play low in case we capture the 10 or the jack or something. Not unreasonable, but unfortunately, as discussed earlier, we're not going to be able to ruff both clubs. We're only going to be able to ruff one because we simply haven't got the entries to get here in order to ruff both the clubs. So it doesn't particularly matter. Let's say we play low, they produce the 8, we win with the king. Make sure we're counting trumps, of course. So we've now just played 4 diamonds. We now need to get to hand in order to ruff. Now ideally we would use both these diamonds on these 2 clubs, but we just can't get to the hand twice. Hence why it didn't actually matter which diamond we won in. So which hand we won the diamond in rather. So we play a diamond, we win, ace or queen. We see the jack, which is a nice sight, which now means we're only going to lose, we're not going to lose any diamonds because the diamonds have broken. Unfortunately for us, of course, we didn't really want to draw the trumps, but in doing so we had to play a trump to get to our hand in order to ruff a club. So I would not now draw the last trump. Yes, this would fell the 10, but I wouldn't do that because then we can't ruff these clubs. We can at least ruff one of these clubs. So, play a club, they play a low, we rough it with dummy's last trump. This leaves a defender with a trump, but we have to take that risk in order to be able to make this club rough. They follow low. So we've roughed one of our two clubs. Unfortunately, we couldn't rough both of them, as discussed. Now, the lead is where we do not want it to be, which is the table. We haven't really got an easy way to get the lead to hand in order to draw this final trump. We want to get to hand, draw the trump, try the spade finesse, or get to hand, draw the trump, play a heart towards the king queen. Either way, we need to be in hand. We just can't get here very easily. So there's two possibilities. Play the king of hearts, which loses to the ace, then play the queen of hearts later, voiding ourselves of hearts and roughing a heart to get back to hand in order to then try a spade finesse after drawing the trump. Or play the ace of spades, then the queen of spades, losing to the king, then the jack of spades, voiding ourselves of spades, and then rough a spade to our hand. I'm sure you agree with me that playing 3 rounds of spades and then roughing the 4th is riskier than playing 2 rounds of hearts then roughing the 3rd. So the best chance we've got, because we're in the dummy, which we really don't want to be, best chance we've got is play the king of hearts, which we'll lose to the ace, lose a club, get the lead back, play the queen of hearts, and then finally draw the final trump. Now what the opponents might do is they might inadvertently give us the lead here by playing another club letting us rough, or by playing a diamond letting us in with our hand. But we have to try this. We've got to choose a spade or a heart. Neither are good, but we have to lead from there rather than here, which is where we want to lead from. So the king of hearts plays low, and this hand takes the ace. No real gain to ducking. Yes, you could duck, but there's no gain to it really. You want to kill the king whilst you can. And now this hand can cash the king of clubs, like so. We would throw something away. Doesn't particularly matter. We've got to guess which suit is breaking. The spades are slightly stronger, more robust, so therefore I would throw a heart. More likely that the spades are coming in, depending on the location of the king, of course. And the king of clubs wins, because we couldn't rough both of them, so we lose this one. As you can see, this hand is very awkward. We've got enough tricks, we can't unravel them, can't get the lead in the right place. And now it depends what this defender does. So there are 2 things the defender could do that would help us. That would be play a club, we can rough it, draw their trump. Or play a trump, we can win in hand and then tackle the spades from hand. And 2 things that they could do that do not help us, a spade or a heart, particularly a heart. A spade allows us to take the finesse, which we can see is losing, but we wouldn't know that. And a heart gives absolutely nothing away and voids them of hearts. So the best defence here is to play a heart, forcing us to take the queen, and therefore stranding us in the dummy once again. So we play a heart to the queen. That's the best defence by far, which we win. We still have not drawn this last pesky trump because we used a trump to rough a club, which was good, but we still have not drawn it and we're still on the table. We just cannot get to our hand in order to draw this trump. We've now got to a position where we've had 2 rounds of hearts, which is 8. We've discarded a heart, 9, 10, 11. So there are 2 hearts left. So what we want to try and do is play a heart, rough it in hand, then play the queen of diamonds, drawing the last trump. That is risky though, because the person with no hearts could have the last trump. And that isn't the case here, but we wouldn't necessarily know that. We've got to take that risk. The alternative is play spades from the table, which means we're definitely going to lose to the king, which is not good. We at least want to take the chance of the finesse working, albeit we don't get the vibe it is, given that there's been a few points over here already. So our best chance now, heart. When they follow with hearts, we've got to hope that either they've got the last trump or this person has another heart. So it could be that the hearts are 3 and 3, in which case we can rough safely, or it could be that the hearts are here with the final trump. Our only layout where we fail is the person without hearts also has the last trump, which is the case here. So we rough, doesn't matter how high we rough, roughing with the queen still loses to the 10 later because it's a trump promotion. So we rough, hoping that this either sees a heart or a discard, i.e. they haven't got avoiding hearts, or if they have got avoiding hearts, they haven't got the last trump. But unfortunately for us, this is exactly the layout that gets us. We can't get to hand again. They've stopped us from getting to hand again. So we lose that one, which is unfortunate. So we've now lost 4 tricks. We lost 2 clubs rather than 1 because we couldn't rough. We've lost the ace of hearts, and we've just lost that diamond because we had the unfortunate layout in hearts. We now need the spade finesse to work. So we've been unlucky in the fact we couldn't get to hand, unlucky in the layout of the red suits in order that the person with the 3rd diamond had 2 hearts to begin with, and unlucky in the sense that the person with the final diamond was after us rather than before us, so that we could see that they had to rough after us rather than before us. So now we simply need the spade finesse. We've had bad luck in basically every process so far, albeit the diamonds broke, which is about the only good thing that's happened for us. Now this player could play a spade, allowing us to play the spade finesse, but they should play a club, making us rough. This heart isn't a winner, by the way, because the hearts have not broken evenly. So we throw either one away, it doesn't matter really. Let's say a small spade, doesn't really matter. Yes, a small spade is better because then we can rough to retake the finesse should it work. And it goes club and a rough. And we now simply need the spade finesse to work. Simple as that. Spade to the jack or queen needs to win. And it goes spade to the jack or queen, doesn't matter, and the king appears. And we are now off. You could have made the argument, well, didn't we know the spade finesse was losing because the overcaller, who should have 10 points, has only turned up with kind of 7 or 8 points so far? Yeah, fair comment. They probably do have the king of spades, so you could say, well, I'll try and drop the king of spades, but that's really odds against as well. It doesn't actually matter in this instance. We're losing a spade trick. So that means we lost, unfortunately, 2 clubs, not 1, because we couldn't get here to rough them twice. We lost a spade, finesse lost. We lost a heart, and very importantly, we lost a heart over rough because of the unfortunate layout of the red suits. The person with the short hearts also had 3 diamonds and was after us, so could rough over us. Very unlucky, but yeah, good defence, good passive defence, not giving anything away. Weaker defence might have allowed us to make it by allowing us to rough an extra club, or allowing us to not have to finesse in spades, or getting us to our hand in order to draw the trumps, or whatever it may be. But excellent passive defence means, unfortunately, we go 1 down.